Hello and welcome back to the Dynamic Duo podcast. Today we're going to continue our series about different areas of personal growth. Today's topic is going to be social growth. What is it? What does it include? And how can you grow in that area of your life? We're going to share personal stories and also tips and tricks for you to grow in that area. So let's dive in. Hi, Armando. How are you doing today?
Hi, Anja. Good morning. Doing fantastic. Thank you very much.
Great.
What about you?
Me too. Thanks. I'm also doing good.
Does your morning in Switzerland smells like fall, or slowly, or it still smells like summer when you wake up in the morning?
Still, for me, it still smells like summer,
Like
but
summer? Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like a weird question right at the beginning, but it's just like this morning I went to the garden. So like, it's like, wait, hold on, it's August and it smells a little bit like October already somehow. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. I didn't have enough sleep or something.
Well, yeah, I don't know how October would smell like. I'm a little bit confused now, but yeah. Let's just dive into today's topic about social growth.
Yes.
Could you share a little bit, what does social growth include? What is it?
Social work is a very interesting topic. I think that the social growth is the process of improving, the ability to interact effectively and humanly. I'm going to put that in quotes. Human, of course, we're humans, but often the human aspect of interaction is lost. Especially in a work environment. Do that. Give me that, and we have to achieve this numbers, statistics, and so on. Right? We have to be productive, and along the way, the human aspect is forgotten. So, going back to my description, it's just the ability to interact effectively, productively, of course, but humanly with other human beings, with our fellow human beings, right? With our neighbors, whether colleagues, whether they are family members, neighbors, clients, and people or people that work for us. If you're an entrepreneur, for example, right? So I believe it is the skill of developing uh, interpersonal abilities to build meaningful relationships. And meaningful relationships could mean a lot of things, because of course the relationships that we have with family is a little bit different than the relationships we have with colleagues, right? So, but again, going back, the human aspect should be there. So I think it is crucial for personal development, for anyone interested in their own personal development, because it will enhance their emotional intelligence, I believe. Also, their communication skills. Communicating is a fascinating topic. So communication skills will be affected in a positive way, I believe. And empathy, right? Will become more empathic persons. And at the end, it will allow people to navigate social situations, collaborate better with others, and of course, build better support networks. So at the end, social growth will foster self-awareness, confidence, which is of course essential for both personal and professional success. What do you think, Anja?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think to say it in short, it's like the relationship building part. And that's a little bit a lost art sometimes.
Yes.
Especially like you said, in business, we feel like this is not important. Important are numbers and I don't know what, but in the end, every business is in the people business, because you have employees and you have customers and you have whatever shareholders,
Mm,
and you have to communicate to them, you have to build relationships with them, and if you don't treat people well in business, they're not going to want to do business with you.
exactly.
So it's a very important skill, and yeah, I think we miss the importance, and we miss that you can learn in that area too.
Mm,
Oftentimes we feel like either you have friends or you don't have friends, either you are introverted or extroverted, and if you're one of or the other, then it's worse for you. But that's not the case. You can grow in that area just like you can grow in any other area.
mm,
You can learn to communicate better. You can, like we already talked about in a previous episode, you can learn empathy.
mm.
You can grow. Have you an experience with growth in that area, social growth?
My personal growth or the growth of
Yes,
others?
yours.
Mine, yeah, of
Yours.
course. Um, yeah, all the time. I um, I must say I'm a people person, without trying to be. I guess it could mean a lot of things, right? But I like people. I really like people. So harmony is important for me, and team a team spirit, the team mentality
Mhm.
is important to me. Communication is very important to me. So wherever I go, I am myself, but but I realize not everyone is like me, and very social, right? I have experienced things like, you go into into your office, where, with other colleagues, or the building with, and you see your colleagues, and some people are not used to, for example, I have experienced that, saying, good morning, you know how was your day, even though you say you saw each other yesterday, but just the way I that's the way I am. So being able to 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 work in such environments require, of course, empathy, understanding of others, how other people are, and adjusting myself in those situations, you know so empathy is important, and harmony, because how we react to other personalities is part of my personality, right? Do I react and behave the same way, or do I try to promote a better environment, a better work environment, a better communication environment? So without imposing, without being too overwhelming, which people person, if we are not careful, we can be a little too social, right? And it's also not a good thing, right? Because it can disrupt, it can be too close. Armando, you're too close, figuratively speaking, of course. So what I've learned through the years is to identify those lines, to read people, and accept that, and while at the same time not betraying who I am, because you could very quickly notice, oh, okay, that everyone is involved in their work, and they don't want to talk too much, or a little tense. Well, some people will just become part of that, and I have decided, along the years, that I don't want to, because if that will hurt me on the long run.
Mhm.
So that's a fine line, being true to myself while at the same time maybe bringing a little joy, if I may use that word, or bringing that little bit of the social aspect into that environment without being too pushy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has cost, but I must say it had work. Sometimes or some people they like wake up. It's like, oh yeah, they become a little bit more social. I'm a little bit more chatty, not too chatty, but that helps. Because we are not machines. We are humans. We're people. We need
Yeah.
we need that part. What about you?
Yeah, I think I've grown a lot in that area. Um, I I'm naturally not probably as how did you call yourself? It
Mm,
doesn't come that easy to me probably as it does to you to be open and yeah, I was very shy when I was younger.
you no
Um,
way.
yeah, I was. I still sometimes am. There are still people who think that I'm a really calm. I mean, I'm a calm person, but that I don't talk a lot. And I think I did learn a lot over the years, also just to not take everything so seriously
Uh-huh.
and to just, like you said, just be myself, and whoever likes it, and whoever doesn't,
Mm,
and be okay with this. I think that
mm-hmm,
was a learning for me that
mm-hmm,
I had to accept, just as I accept other people as they are. Yeah, not everybody's gonna like you, and that's fine. And also to share more,
mm,
and to be curious about. I think I'm naturally curious about people, but to actually like ask more questions about people, and yeah, and to my listening skills, I also would say I learn a lot more to listen actively, and not to listen because I want to respond, but to listen because I want to hear what the other person has to say.
right.
I think that's also an art
Yeah.
in social growth that you can master and learn and grow. And it's very important to build relationships. You have to listen to other people,
Yeah.
I think.
You mentioned something so important, and this is, of course, maybe something to do with my personality, with my character, but I am, uh, and this is part of my growth, my process, and we probably are coming slowly into the practical tips that we can give our audience. But I am absolutely self-centered people is like the opposite to me.
Mhm.
And so when in self-centered people can be damaged in a team environment, right? Just me, right?
Mm.
And uh and I it's like I'm absolutely, how do you call that, not a pole, that's a very strong word, not a pole, but I'm not attracted to that kind of people. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, please, no, stay. I don't like that at all. And why? Because I think this is just my own opinion, my point of view, but I think the more you are interested in others, the more value, of course, you add to them,
Mhm.
and of course, the people will be interested in you, and if they want to, they can ask questions. Please tell me, tell me more. So if I see, when I every time I get to know someone that is self-centered, I've done this, I've been there, or whatever. I don't ask questions, even though I have questions, because they're like,
Yeah.
okay, like, if I ask more questions, there is no end to this conversation. And so it's common courtesy, I guess. Just be interested in others. Don't that, and that is something that I personally, but because I believe in my younger years, I was a little centered on myself, So so I learned that. So like, no, I think that's not healthy. That's not that nice. So I there's a conscious effort on my part. Just
Yeah.
just pay attention to other people.
Yeah. So those are our practical tips. Learn to listen well, not to respond, but to really listen to other people and be curious, ask questions.
Mm.
We've talked about empathy before, so we're not going to dive into that again. But if you've missed that, listen to the previous episode. I think it was the previous episode.
I think it
right?
was the very previous one. Yeah.
Yeah. Where we talked about empathy. Yeah, those are and be yourself. Be yourself and be who you are, because there's no one like you and the world needs you.
Yeah.
Those are our practical tips. Did I miss something? Do you have some more?
No,
tips?
I think that's enough for the day, for our audience. If you practice one of those, I think you are ahead of the game.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have one last word for our viewers and listeners?
I guess if maybe this is unfair, but I probably will encourage people to, from all of those tips that we just mentioned, just to practice asking questions. Ask, and you will discover beautiful things about the people around you, and that is a great thing. Just be authentic and ask questions. Authentically interested in others.
Something we as coaches do professionally.
That's right.
That's why we love it. So thanks for listening in. Thanks for sharing this time with us, and drop us any questions, any comments, any
Suggestions
notes you have on this. Suggestions, exactly. We'd love to hear from you, and see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.